everybody. Welcome back to the Sugar Shack podcast. I am Jason, and I am joined today by the one, the only,
Josh. Hello. How you guys doing?
and
Welcome back.
if you'll notice, I said the one, the only. That's because Austin is no longer with us.
Yeah, he was just, holding us back. Gotta chop off that dead wood. Just
Yeah, we had to leave the nest. We had to spread our wings.
Fired. Get out of here.
Yeah, we took him out back. We shot him.
So. Yeah, I guess.
But it's okay. That means we can broaden our avenues because today we're talking exclusively about combat sports.
Yeah. That after last episode where, Jason and Austin fought,
I
had to get
think
put
that
he had to get
I made
put
him
down.
look like a fool.
Yeah, Austin had to get put down.
That shouldn't have broke me. I hate you.
Anyways, Austin, he won't be here this episode. He's out sick or whatever. You saw the thumbnail. Anyways,
yeah.
Show. What are our topics?
I'm a huge MMA fan. I like a lot of grappling sports. I do like a little bit of wrestling and jiu-jitsu in my free time. And Josh is a huge boxing fan.
Yeah, I love boxing. I've been following it for a couple of years now. I mean, I'd say I'm more like what's it called? Like a normie, just like vanilla sort of fighter.
He's a fan, but he's up to date with both the history and what's going on currently. He has a lot of respect and honor for the sport, which I think is all you really need.
Yeah, I love boxing. I love fighting, like the the video that we made. I mean, I just love the sport, and I was like, let me put these guys up against each other to see who the the best of the best is.
Who the best of the best is, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But
yeah, we're here to talk. I mean, I'm not as familiar with boxing. All I do know, because I don't really watch boxing, is stuff that I hear and that I've seen. Like, I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. I'm a huge fan of Butterbean. I'm a huge Muhammad Ali fan. I don't really like Floyd Mayweather. I hope Tank Davis crushes Jake Paul, even though I kind of doubt he will. There's a huge height thing there. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. There's some little seeds of what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I'm a huge MMA fan. I love UFC. Now that UFC is going to Paramount Plus, I plan to watch it a lot more frequently. I could just name like a few fighters off the bat that I think are some of the top tier fighters of the world. Greatest athletes out there. People like Demetrius Johnson, like Conor McGregor when he was at his peak, Max Holloway when he was at his peak. People like that.
Yeah.
John Jones, if he wasn't juicing. He is incredibly gifted, but I don't really like him as a person.
Or beating his wife and using cocaine all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Floyd Mayweather, except for maybe the cocaine.
That's one thing they stay undefeated in.
Hey, that's true. Domestic abuse. You ain't never gonna see their wife beat them.
Yeah.
But where'd you want to start this conversation, Josh?
Yeah.
I think that's a bad place to start. Domestic abuse.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, we could start really from anywhere. I want to talk about the Jake Paul versus, Gervonta Davis fight that was announced.
Okay, we're starting with Tank? Okay, I can rock with that.
So, I just want to give, like, a brief, history lesson. And this could be another topic that we transition to, which is, the story of Jake Paul. I think we've talked about him on the podcast before, on the old legacy episodes that no one will ever see again because they are just
they'll never be seen again. They're locked down in the vaults, and that vault is unbreachable.
Yeah. Unless if I decide to repurpose one of the episodes in case if we forget to record 1 week just to fill in space. But anyways, so YouTube boxing is where Jake Paul is from, and that started all the way back in 2018. Whenever
was it really 7 years ago?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Time flies, dude.
Yeah, it started off with
I feel like I only started hating the guy yesterday.
it started off with the YouTuber KSI, and he fought another YouTuber named Joe Weller, and they had their own boxing match, and KSI won that and called out the Paul brothers.
Yeah.
You know, and KSI fought Logan Paul, and twice had a draw the first time, and then had the rematch in which KSI won. And obviously,
Yeah.
Jake, wanting to avenge Logan Paul, trained to become a professional fighter, to the point where I honestly see Jake Paul as being above the rest of the YouTubers. Even KSI.
Well, what about
Honestly.
who's that YouTuber who's getting really good? Is it Dr. Mike?
Oh, Dr. Mike got beat already.
Did he?
He
I thought he
fought-
went pro recently.
Oh yeah, he did, but he
and he
fought-
lost. Didn't he lose to Alex Pereira?
No. Well, maybe I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with him, but I know that
Who, by the way, is an MMA fighter.
Yeah. But a couple of years ago, Jake, I think it was on the Tommy Fury card. No, it was on one of the Tyron Woodley cards. Dr. Mike fight on the undercard, and he lost to one of like the pros that
Gotcha.
that shows up regularly on his undercards and stuff. But yeah, so Jake Paul, he fought the likes of Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, Tommy Fury, Anderson Silva, fought all these different fights. Actually,
Most of which were not boxers or
most of
have
them
been retired for multiple years.
But he has been moving towards boxing, with the likes of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, a 60-year-old man.
Yep, who we'll be talking about later on in the episode, so stick around for
Of course.
that.
And
But
we love Iron Mike around here.
yeah, we love him. But yeah, Mike Tyson, and recently a couple months ago he fought the likes of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was also like a pretty decorated fighter. I think he's had over like 40 fights and stuff. I mean,
Nice.
and Jake won that. And I'd say right now, Jake, you kind of gotta respect the guy. He's fought punching bags, tomato cans. Probably your uncle, your granddad. But he has kind of gone to the point where he's got enough experience to fight.
He's fought enough senior citizens by now.
Yeah,
That
and
he gets
now-
to pick on someone who is, 9 inches shorter than him? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't beat Tommy Fury, but maybe, just maybe, he'll beat Tank Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Who I don't know much about, to be honest.
Yeah. So and to also recap on the career of Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, please do.
I mean, he's one of the best in our generation, at least in his weight class. He has. I'll let me look it up right now, because.
Do you want to say it now, or do you want to, build up some suspense about it? The weight difference between Jake Paul's typical fighting weight and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, we can definitely go to that, build up to that. So yeah.
Because it's actually incredible that this got set up to me.
Yeah, it's really crazy because let me look up Jake Paul's boxing record as well. Just so then we have a proper
Yeah, proper method of comparison.
So yeah,
Yes,
so
good
Jake
idea.
Paul has 12 wins and 1 loss, which I mean, you can't.
That's a pretty respectable record.
Yeah, that's pretty respectable. 7 knockouts of those 12 wins. I mean,
That's pretty. That makes him a knockout artist, technically.
Yeah. Honestly, heck yeah. I mean, whether or not you
That's a respectable record.
Whether or not you like the guy, you can't deny he's actually made a pretty, definitely a very successful career. He's probably made bank off of the fights.
Incredible amounts of money. No way he hasn't.
Mm-hmm. And if we look at his opponent, Gervonta Tank Davis, with a whopping 30 wins, 28 knockouts, and only 1 draw, which was actually, I'm pretty sure, his last fight that he had against Lamont Roach, who's also, pretty respectable.
Is he an
I'd say.
insect?
Nah, he's a cigar, actually.
Oh!
Yeah, he hangs with Snoop Dogg a lot. And, Gervonta Davis, he's been all over, boxing, boxing. He's very well known in boxing. He fought...
And, like I said, I'm not familiar with his record or anything, but I have heard his name well before this fight was set up. Like, I know of Tank Davis. I know he is that guy.
Yeah, he's fought a lot of guys. 2 years ago, I believe, he fought the likes of Ryan Garcia, who was also a pretty respected fighter.
Ryan Garcia is one of my favorite boxers. I don't know anything about him outside of boxing, but...
Yeah. Who also... I'm pretty sure Ryan Garcia had some connections to Jake Paul as well. They never fought, but, I think they, collabed on a few things, like YouTube and maybe boxing-wise, I don't know. They definitely called each other out,
The more you know.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like, it's all kind of interconnected. Now, would I say this match makes sense right now? Nah. I don't think so.
But he does not support it.
Yeah, so, actually... Who do you think's gonna win this fight?
Who do I think's gonna win? I hate to say it because I do feel terrible saying this about Tank, but I think Jake Paul is gonna win just because he is so much taller. And okay, so Jake Paul's usual fighting weight, correct me if I'm wrong, is 225, right?
Maybe recently with the Mike Tyson, him being a heavyweight, but it's more like 200, maybe 190, 200. So it's not that far off. But cruiserweight / heavyweight.
Gotcha. Well, Tank Davis is, again, correct me if I'm wrong, 135, 145?
Yeah, he's
5'4" to Jake Paul's 6'1".
Yeah, that's
what kind of...
Yeah, who thought this through? It'd be...
Yeah.
It's as crazy as if, I don't know, if you put Floyd Mayweather in against Mike Tyson. I mean, that weight discrepancy is just... You would never see that happening. You would never see that happening in the real world.
It seems unfair, and the weight they agreed at was, what was it? 195?
God, 195, yeah.
How is Tank Davis... at 5'4", supposed to bulk up that heavy? He's gonna look like biblically accurate fucking Daniel Cormier.
Oh my. No, that.
And I love Daniel Cormier too, by the way.
Yeah.
I say that as a fan.
How the fuck? How do you even do that? That's so stupid.
That doesn't seem physically possible for him.
Listen, as much as I kind of bigged up Jake Paul earlier, saying that he's fought very he has a respectable record. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But one thing about Jake that I really don't like is the fact that he's kind of a weight bully. If you look at previous, he's either a weight bully or he fights old men way past their prime.
So true.
Yeah. So with this one, Gervonta Davis is 30 years old, just about. So and I think there's a 4 year difference between them, I believe. So it's not like it's completely off, but weight, really?
Of 195.
The only fight where he's had to not only drop weight, but actually fight against someone his size was Tommy Fury. What? He's back! What the hell? Austin came back from the dead, guys. He's back.
Well, I guess it's good to see he's back.
Man, even in death, he still has aura. Okay.
Man, that's a dawn of intrigue you just dropped on us.
By the way, Austin, I said that we had to put you down.
Yeah, it's true. He did say that.
Yeah. All right, you'll see that in the episode. Anyways, okay, so back. Okay, yeah, guys, Austin's back from the dead. He, fucking used witch magic from his mom. So what were we talking about before?
I think it was Tank Davis and Jake Paul or something.
Yeah. So, how much do you know of that, Austin? Of the fight?
Not at all.
Yeah. We had said before they're gonna fight at 195. Jake Paul is 6'1". Tank Davis is 5'4".
Yeah.
And Tank Davis's normal fighting weight is 135.
And Jake Paul, I don't know if you said this or not. I wasn't paying attention, but he fights around like 190, 200. That's almost like a 60-pound weight difference. That's not something you see often. Well, no, you see it often in fighting, but no one fucking. It's not respected. It's not a respected thing,
It's weight bullying.
Yeah.
But they're selling it off as, there might be a weight difference, but Gervonta Davis, he has more experience.
He's the better boxer. He's so much better that
He's
makes this a fair fight.
Oh, so he is a boxer.
Yes. This one actually is a boxer. Yes.
He fought Ryan Garcia a couple of years ago. He's fought in his latest fight was against Lamont Roach, who he drew up against. Yeah, so that's him. They're kind of marketing the fight as, he may have more experience, but he's the bigger guy. David and Goliath type fight. So I want to hear what you guys think. Who do you guys think is going to win that fight?
Okay, look, when Eddie Hall and Hafthor Bjornsson boxed, I think Hafthor Bjornsson looked like the worst boxer. I think his technique looked worse out of the But you know who won? The guy who was 40 pounds heavier and like 5 inches taller. I don't remember the exact height difference. It's just inherently easier for the bigger guy to win. You can control distance because you have the reach. It's also inherently easier to get more power. The longer your arm is, the more leverage you have. That's physics. You have a longer lever to hit with. It's inherently easier to get one lucky punch. And really, boxing is about being the guy who can make their own luck.
If we look back onto the infamous fight between the Pahat Pahuk versus the Shadow Blaze, we see that in action exactly. The Pahat Pahuk had the bigger weight advantage. Throwing his,
Way
bombs
bigger.
and stuff. Yeah.
There was no way for him to recover. There was no way for the Auradon.
Exactly. Whereas,
close to beat.
Yeah. Whereas, if you look in the footage, the Shadow Blaze, he had, the longer reach, I mean, honestly, like, looking back at that fight, I think, like, honestly, like, that fight was pretty fantastic. It might be a stretch, but it was one of the greatest fights I'd ever seen. I mean, the Pat Puck, he sent the Shadow Blaze straight to his doom. It's such a good video, like, I could watch it forever.
Was that a long Fantastic Four joke?
I put a comment on that video, by the way, if you guys want to read it.
Not right now. I'm using my phone to record.
I remember watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Not record,
But I never looked at the comments. Hold on.
Yeah, look at the comments of that. Austin, I want you to read it out, by the way.
The boxing displayed in this video is fantastic. I love the way the Pahat Pahuk throws his punches and clobbers his opponent, sending him straight to his doom. Here's the thing. Every time the Shadow Blaze goes down, he always gets back up like a fiery torch. Moving so graceful and swiftly, it's almost like he's invisible, where nothing can bother him. Seeing them fight, seeing them go the distance and make the final stretch towards being the victor, I could watch this video forever and ever. This match sticks out in my mind as one of the best. This video is really setting the future foundation of this YouTube channel as you see. Life's been grim since they last uploaded, so I won't be there when they do. Okay, so we got fantastic, clobbers, torch, invisible, stretch, victor, sticks, doom, match, future foundation, grim. Then grim. Word.
Hold on, say that again.
Shut up.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So basically, Jake Paul is the greatest fighter of all time. He beat Tommy Fury. He's the best, honestly. What do you guys think?
Again, I think that Jake Paul is bigger and larger, probably going to win for that reason.
Yeah.
Austin?
Yeah, who do you think's gonna
You
win?
Honestly, I think this freaking Shadow of Blaze kid needs to retire.
I mean, you still need to do the rematch.
Yeah, sign the contract, big boy.
Yeah, sign the contract. Is this video gonna
should.
set up the fucking rematch, bro?
I hope so.
Been
Been waiting.
Not. I
I still have the gloves and stuff. We can still do it.
We should.
gained a little weight.
It's all
Good. It'll
It's
be a
all
fair
good.
fight this
Just that
time.
video, I'll probably put on about 50-ish pounds.
You got it.
And
You got it.
Jason's probably lost like an ounce.
I'm down to 260.
216.
260.
Oh, I'm about to say, Austin, you might have to run for your money.
Oh, there's only a 10-pound difference then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm down to like 340, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm like, I don't know, about 6'7".
I just blew right on the highway.
Right.
Are we gonna do this episode or what?
All right, yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on?
what the fuck is that?
Austin joined, and suddenly we can't record.
But yeah, anyway, okay.
I
So
mean, if
that's
y'all
how...
want me to leave, I can.
No. It's no. Yeah, stay.
No, you got it.
We'll just fill you in on a couple things. But yeah, so that's Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. I think that's gonna be a really, it's gonna be a very fun fight to like the press conferences, the trash talk. That's gonna be amazing.
I hope that he breaks Jake Paul's jaw.
That would
I
be
think
cool.
it's unlikely, but I hope so.
There's the last of Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing him everywhere.
I think that if Jake Paul wins, he should go after a real boxer like me.
Yeah, you should. like
Honestly, I agree with that. I agree with that so much.
like in the thumbnail, right? That's on this thumbnail.
I think that it's important to bring up in every fight fan point of debates. Who is the greatest of all time, pound for pound? Obviously you put Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather in the ring together, but if you were to imagine them at the same size, who would win? I think that's an interesting conversation to have. I think it's a conversation that every fight fan likes to have, at least when they're, not being disagreed with. So I want to ask Josh, what do you think are some of your boxing, pound for pound, greatest of all time?
Honestly, looking at this current generation and looking at every generation before that, obviously, you think of like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, they're the greats of their times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Floyd,
There's even like Tyson Fury today.
Floyd Mayweather, he's up there. I'd say he is. It doesn't matter who you are, whether it be you believe that he won every fight, because every one of his fights, you could probably say, some of them, you could argue that he probably shouldn't have won that. But either way, you can't deny he deserves to be on that list for like the career that he's had.
He's definitely one of the most accomplished fighters of all time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that he's a bad fighter by any means. I just dislike the way that he fights.
Yeah,
Because he fights for points instead of fighting. When you're not going all out, when you're not leaving it all on the line, it takes a little bit of respect.
He's fought very good fighters like, Canelo Alvarez. I'd say he's definitely up there on that list. He had a very accomplished, career. I mean, I think at the age of like 22, he's had like over 40 fights, professional
That's
fights.
pretty good for boxing, especially high-level boxing.
And he was undefeated too until he fought Floyd. Coming up, actually, he's fighting Terrence Crawford, who is
That's a pretty big fight.
40-0. And I'd say that those two are definitely on that list of greatest of all time.
With those resumes, I can totally back you up on that.
Yeah, and we'll be speaking about them too later on in the episode, so stick around. But yeah, so all these people, great, good, decorated fighters. I personally believe, just from looking at everything, that the greatest fighter of our generation currently, and I might even go as far as saying like of all time, might honestly be Alexander Usyk.
Seeing Usyk fight recently, I didn't know who he was until he had like recently exploded. I feel like,
yeah,
he's incredible.
Yeah, like, I have a little story to tell about Alexander Usyk. So,
All right, I'd be happy to hear it, I think.
So, last year he fought Tyson Fury 2 times, actually. He fought him 2 times, and Usyk won both of them. And Usyk, by then, had already had some pretty good wins under his belt. He fought Anthony Joshua twice, who, he fought like the likes of like Andy Ruiz, and eventually he fought Deontay Wilder. He didn't fight Deontay Wilder. He was going to fight him until Wilder got knocked out by some fucking, by Joseph Parker, I believe, which, But, so, Anthony Joshua was already being built up until Usyk shut him down. And then Usyk fought Daniel Dubois, and that was a pretty controversial fight because the way that the fight went, apparently Usyk got punched under the belt, and that's illegal. And
yeah, clearly.
Eventually, earlier this year, they had a rematch where Usyk won as well. So Usyk, so far has a really good career. Tyson Fury,
very impressive record.
Yes, and then you have Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. He's fought Deontay Wilder, and then went on a little bit. Of like a little spree of fighting, Dillian White, who, respect to him. And then he fought, fucking Francis Ngannou and got knocked down he got knocked down by a guy that never fought in a boxing match. Though, granted, he is an MMA fighter. So you can give him that.
Ngannou has the strongest punch of any MMA fighter ever.
Yeah,
apparently.
So don't want to. But eventually, Ngannou lost the fight. But you could say, okay, he knocked down the world champion, right?
Yeah.
At least until Anthony Joshua came in and knocked out Francis Ngannou in like the second round, I believe. So
yeah,
by this point,
I think I vaguely remember hearing about that.
Yeah. So by this point, Tyson Fury's, his stocks were kind of down. He wasn't, he wasn't the as, decorated fighter as he once was. But he still had some respect because he was still the world champion. So eventually it came down to 2, big champions, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. They are both undefeated. Usyk had like 20 wins, 0 losses, and Fury had 30-something wins and like 2 draws or something like that, I think. But
that's not a bad record either.
Still good, yeah. When I was going into that fight, I predicted that Usyk was going to win that via split decision. And I was legitimately thinking about putting money down on it and betting on it. Yeah, but I was like, I don't know, I don't think, and I never went through.
Betting is stupid. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I never did that. Fucking Alexander Usyk not only won, but he won via split decision. And I was watching the fight in real time, and the scoring that I gave the fight turned out to be the exact same as what the judges had on their scorecards.
Which means that you could be a professional judge.
Not only that, I could have fucking won big fucking money if I just bet on that fight. I'm so pissed about it. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, that fight made a gambling addict out of Josh. We haven't seen him gamble since, but I'm certain we will.
Yeah, and then the rematch happened, and I was like, I'm not going to bet on it. It's not going to be as big as the first one. Yeah. So, and I haven't done it to any fight since then, except this upcoming fight, like I mentioned earlier, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. That's going to be a big fight. And don't get it twisted, bro. I'm going to bet money on that fight. And I'm going to win. And you will get to know who I'm going to bet on later on in this episode. But for now, let's go back to the topic of our greats of all time. Back to you, Jason.
My absolute greatest of all time in terms of MMA has got to be Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. And if you don't know about him, let me sell you on him.
Yes, go ahead.
So there is a fighter in Thailand who is also one of my goats. His name is Rodtang Jimwangwan. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. I do not speak that language. I have a lot of respect for the guy. He is, if you've ever seen those clips of the guy getting decked over and over and over again, and he dances it off just like that, that's him. Rod Tang is one of the greats. I don't remember his record right now. I'm using my phone to record. I can't look it up. But I think his record is somewhere in 300 plus wins to less than 50 losses to less than 60 draws.
Damn.
Please fact check me on that, anybody. I don't care who. When he fought Demetrius Johnson, the rules were 1 round MMA, 1 round Muay Thai. 1 round MMA, 1 round Muay Thai. And they did that because at the time the thought was Mighty Mouse was the best in the world at MMA and Rod Tang was the best in the world at Muay Thai. And we have to see who the most dangerous man in the world is at their weight class. If I believe the fight was at 145. They're both little guys. There's a reason Demetrius Johnson's called Mighty Mouse. I wouldn't fuck with either of them though. I mean, they'd kick my ass.
Now you got it.
Watching that fight is beautiful. Some of the best striking you'll ever see in your life. And they're both very good at adapting on the fly. They learn each other, they read each other, and in the second round, when it switches to MMA rules, Demetrius Johnson gets a rear naked choke in and chokes Rod Tang out. Rod Tang refuses to tap. He would rather die. Which is a hell of a warrior spirit. And I don't just think that Mighty Mouse is one of the GOATs, pound for pound, just because he's a good fighter, but because he's a good person. Like, anytime I've seen him lose, he gets up and shakes the guy's hand. He's only lost by knockout a handful of times. And the first time he lost by knockout, it's because he got a knee to the head in a fighting org he was new to. He had just left the UFC. UFC doesn't allow grounded knees to the head. They only allow grounded knees to the body. He wasn't ready for it. But the next time that he fought that guy, you guys ever seen that famous clip of him rocking the guy with the left hook? They stumble back into the cage, and then he gives them a flying knee from hell and KOs them?
No.
Oh, fuck you. Another famous clip. He tosses the guy up, catches them in the armbar. He said he trained for that for weeks. How do you train for that? Who are you fucking sandbagging at your gym day in, day out to train that armbar? But, like, beyond Mighty Mouse, I don't want to harp on him the entire fucking episode, entire segment. You've got Max Holloway, who has that famous clip where he goes, "I am the best boxer in the UFC," listening to the commentators debating his legacy and his skill. And then when he turns around, the guy goes to hit him, and he slips 3 punches back to back and hits him with a counter left. And then there's another clip where he's fighting this guy, and he's a ranked fighter, and he's trying to teach him how to block his punches in the middle of the fight. Max Holloway was the best fighter in the UFC, no doubt about it, to me at least. And, Israel Adesanya, when he was at his peak, when he was at his fastest, nobody could touch him. The problem with his fighting style was it was high risk, high reward. Once he started slowing down with age, which is something that just happened, he wasn't the best in the world anymore. But I do think there was a solid maybe year and a half, where Israel Adesanya was the best fighter in the world without a doubt.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that was everywhere when that fight happened. Like,
Izzy was insane, and then he just lost because he couldn't handle the pressure of Sean Strickland, who I'm not going to take anything away from Strickland. He's not one of my favorite fighters or anything, but he's an incredible boxer. He keeps that Philly shell up perfect as he advances towards you. He's always advancing, never giving you time to breathe, and it benefits him perfectly. That's the character he wants to play. Keep underestimating me while you're thinking about how stupid I am. I'm going to KO you.
Yeah.
And there's that fight where he fought, I think it's Alex Pereira, where he goes the distance against Pereira. He checks all of his kicks. Well, when I say goes the distance, I don't... If you listen to his corner team, he goes the distance for the plan that they had in mind. Because he was supposed to go for a takedown a minute into the first round, and then he was like, "Let me know when we're halfway through the first round." And I believe halfway through the first round, he eats a left hook that KOs him. I might be
damn.
misremembering that just a little bit. But he was
Yeah.
seriously, like, Alex Pereira is a dangerous striker. He was matching Pereira's strikes. Pereira's
Yeah.
another guy you could put in that GOAT picture. Because he's an incredible striker. He's got great reach. Daniel Cormier, a silver medalist in the Olympics. An incredible wrestler, an incredible fighter. He never had to cut weight to be the best of all time. Could you imagine? Shut up. Could you imagine a Daniel Cormier who had abs? If Daniel Cormier cut weight to where he had abs, fought at light heavyweight, he would maul people. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to eat cheeseburgers and get gold doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
John Jones. I can't talk about greatest of all time without
Yeah.
bringing up John Jones. No,
Martian Manhunter?
What? Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
John Jones, you know, he has incredible reach. He always keeps his fingers out so you're poking yourself in the eye, not him. He has great kicks. He's always on steroids. He has amazing striking. Those knees are dangerous. He has incredible elbows. The guy can grapple. I mean, I've seen him choke out some dangerous people. I mean, he beats his wife for good training. I mean, the guy all round has an amazing strategy to keep at the highest level.
It's true.
Dana White can't stop talking about how much he loves John Jones. And I can't stop talking about how John Jones wouldn't quit ducking Tom Aspinall.
So who do you think who would win that fight?
I mean, do you blame him? It's a Martian versus
Okay.
a Kryptonian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Martians kind of win that.
You just need fire.
Martian Manhunter is stronger than Superman. Superman says that. We're not doing another
Josh is not
DC
wrong.
episode. I'm dropping
Yeah,
it.
Josh is not wrong.
Just bring out some fire, bro. You got it.
I think Tom Aspinall would have beaten John Jones, mostly just because John Jones is past his prime. If you have a peak Tom Jones, Jesus
Tom
Christ,
Jones.
a peak John Jones versus a peak Tom Aspinall, I think that fight is incredibly close. I don't know where I call it. I might actually call it in favor of John Jones. The problem is that that's not happening. John Jones isn't getting younger. Tom Aspinall, right now, I think wipes the floor with him.
There's a lot of fights in the combat sports world that...
Which is good. That's how you want it. It keeps the brands competitive. It keeps the fighters paid. It keeps streaming services at a low price. I mean, that UFC deal with Paramount Plus is $8 a month for us currently. Prices will probably go up.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, like there's some... Okay. There's some fights out there that everyone wants to see, you know, like...
Yeah.
That...
Like, no
quite
matter
honestly,
who you are, no matter what branch of fighting you're into, you heard of these people, you need to see it.
Yeah, like that, quite honestly, they're just never gonna fucking happen, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much... Like, there's some prized fighters that if you put out there, you're gonna need hundreds of millions of dollars just to put out.
Yes.
You know?
There was...
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Conor McGregor, I think, holds the record for the most money ever earned in one fight. And I think he earned over $100 million.
Yeah.
And
that was against
his contract, because it's a fight of the night bonus and a performance, or not a fight of the night, a knockout of the night and a performance of the night bonus. On top of his championship, double champ contract. So he has, you know, probably 4 million, or not 4 million, 40 million to show up, 40 million to win. He won, he got knockout of the night for another 10 million, and he got performance of the night for another 10 million. I think that's how he did it, if I remember right. You see McGregor's trying to run to be president of Ireland now?
Yeah, I saw.
He released an official statement not too long ago in front of their equivalent to the White House.
How the fuck are they gonna do that shit? I mean,
I don't think he's gonna win, bro. There's that video that came out not too long ago of him hanging a dumbbell from his wang.
I saw some. Didn't he get like charged with like SA?
Whoa.
Probably, I don't know.
courts.
I
remember
actually
hearing
don't
that there
know.
was a
But I
court
know
case
that
about
he's
that.
a coke addict.
I mean, you know, back to what I was saying, like, you know, there is some fights out there that's never gonna happen just because like there's so much money on the line with it. Because like
Yeah.
you know, they're the biggest fights ever, but once it happens, you know, that train just stops. You know, an example of that would be whenever Gervonta Davis fought Ryan Garcia. That fight had been talked about for years, right? Prior. Yeah. You know, people were talking about, oh, who's going to win? You know, they're the biggest fights, both undefeated, both decorated. And then the fight happened. Gervonta Davis, his stocks went way up. But Ryan Garcia, his train was kind of stopped. You know, he kind of lost a lot of hype. People still watched him, and, you know...
But he was no longer the undefeated Ryan Garcia.
Yes. Yes. So with these, and especially with undefeated fighters, you never see this ever. You will never. There's some fights out there never happen. Like what was the one that you said with John Jones?
Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, John Jones will never fight Tom Aspinall. You know, what's another fight that'll never happen because just egos and shit. KSI will never fight Jake Paul. That's just never gonna fucking happen.
KSI is kind of washed.
So true.
He is fucking washed. I'm not gonna lie about that. His fucking arm doesn't work. His hand don't fucking work anymore. I've seen interviews. Yeah, his hand is fucking broken because of this shit. Apparently,
that's nuts. I didn't know that.
He had an interview where he said that his right arm, because he throws so many like wild, you know, like punches, it's fucking broken. And he said that like
that's insane.
His punching power is stronger on his left hand than it is his right hand. Like and he was supposed to have 2 fights in this last year alone, and they both got canceled because of his fucking hand. Yes. Nuts. He's a fucking fraud. I'm sorry. He's fucking fake. Jake Paul would fucking smash his face in, bro. I don't care.
And his hand.
I like KSI. I like thick of it, but he's not a good fighter.
No, you didn't, bro. Nobody liked that song.
Like
Sorry,
I used to.
That's what came to my head.
Like I used to be a big fan of KSI. You know, we've had
that is true. We
episodes.
were all KSI fans.
Yeah, like, you know, I remember watching him from the screen go to the ring, and then watching him go to the pen, and then to the king or whatever. But he's washed now.
He can't even fake remembering it, bro.
Yeah, so KSI will never fight Jake Paul, and the Shadow of Blaze will never fight the Pahat Puck.
So true.
Honestly,
that rematch will never happen. Like, there's just so many. There's so much.
Might not.
It will. But yeah, so like these are all just fights that the fans want that will never happen. Not only because they just, you know, money's on the line, but also these guys are growing old. They're growing out of their peaks. You know, like you were saying with John Jones.
You can only be in the greatest fighting condition of your life for so long. Most UFC fighters retire in their 30s. Yeah. Which, like, not to change topics too harshly, there are only a few kind of people who can fight at a high level at an old age. Yoel Romero was one of them. Yoel Romero was a freak of nature. He was doing fights in his 40s. He started doing martial arts at an age when most people retired from martial art. Yeah. But he never got a title. There's a reason he never had a title run. Despite the fact he was a freak of nature and people are still scared of him to this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Yoel Romero edits are some of the most common ones on UFC Instagram.
I mean, you know, like humans have a fucking limit. You can only be strong. You can be only at your peak for only so long. Oh, what the fuck?
Yo, what is happening?
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, I was about to say his room just went fucking dark.
You know, what was I saying? Yeah, so some of these fighters, they have a limit, you know. Maybe a couple of years ago, it would have been a good fight, but sadly now it's just, it took too long. And that's one thing about it, is that, you know, you always want to build up hype, but it gets to a point where it's not going to do it, like, as good as it would. It'll be a disappointment if it ever happened. Like with Jake Paul and KSI.
I was saying earlier, I love Mighty Mouse. I love Demetrius Johnson, one of my goats. He's only got so many years left. He's only got so many fights left. He literally has started becoming more of an influencer, a YouTuber now. He started training Death Sentence not too long ago, and he started talking shit to him after an episode, and people started bashing DJ for bullying a guy who's mentally disabled.
God,
which is so funny to me, dude.
You know, there's just these like fights that are just never gonna happen because of, you know, expiration dates out.
There's a phrase, and I don't remember where I heard it, but it's everybody is born with a clock. Smoking takes a week off the clock. Every cigarette you smoke takes a week off your clock. Every time you take a fall, doesn't matter how high up it is, it takes at least a minute off your life. Like, every time you get hit, every time you do something unhealthy, you take a little bit more time off of your biological clock.
Yeah.
And
go to the
there's
gym?
nothing you can do about that. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, once it's gone, it's gone forever. Any final thoughts, guys?
Any final touch?
On that? What about you, Austin? Who's your goats?
Call me basic. Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali is a good one.
Yeah, he's actually, speaking of which, and kind of going back to what I was, do you know that Alexander Usyk and Muhammad Ali both have the same height, the same birthday, I'm pretty sure the same reach?
So what you're telling me is that exact build just has a high propensity for success in boxing.
Fucking, I guess, because, bro, they're both fucking, you know, there are people, I remember hearing people talk about, like, who would win that fight. And honestly,
I still think Muhammad Ali, but that might just be, you know, nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Which I don't have, because I have born in 2000.
Yeah.
But, legacy, maybe? Maybe is the better word?
I mean, I think Jake Paul should fight Muhammad Ali next. You know?
Dude, he so would, too, without any hesitation either.
Yeah, dig him up from the fucking grave where Austin came from and, you know, get that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I do actually have a boxing goat that we haven't talked about much yet, and that's Butterbean.
Oh, yeah, Butterbean.
And learning more about Butterbean in his interviews and stuff, Butterbean is such a funny guy and such a cool dude. And it's the fact that he's still alive makes me so happy.
Oh, yeah, he's, I remember he called out Jake Paul once.
Yeah, that's really funny. I didn't hear about that.
Or, like, there was this other one where it's, like, it was in, like, a Mike Tyson, like, skit thing, and there was, like, an interview. And it would basically be, like, an interviewer going up to, like, like, who do you think would win in a fight, Mike Tyson or so-and-so? And they would just ask, like, people this. And like, they would get, like, people that would be like, oh, Mike Tyson's so trash. He's this and that. And then Mike Tyson would walk up to them and be like, you're like, so what were you saying, huh? Say it to my face.
Well, we can't interview Mike Tyson now.
Yeah, he's going to just freaking show up behind me. But yeah, and then there was one where, like, they interviewed Butterbean. And they're like, Butterbean, who do you think would have won between you and Mike Tyson in your primes? And Butterbean was like, you know, I think I would have beaten him. And then Mike Tyson rolls up behind him. It was like, he was like, let's fight. Faith me.
That's so funny.
But yeah, didn't Butterbean do like wrestling?
Yes, Butterbean could not walk for a little while. And he had to do Diamond Dallas Page yoga. Which, it's crazy that yoga fixed his problem. But he got to a point where he could walk again, and he did a wrestling match, like professional wrestling, not like Greco-Roman.
What?
Like, that's nuts to me. He went from can't walk without a walker to wrestling a match.
Look at Mike Tyson, bro. There was like, you know, footage of him, like, he was in a wheelchair. You know, like, he needed a cane to walk. And then, you know, he was able, and then he got to the point, he's talking about fighting again. You know?
Yeah,
he fought
like,
Jake Paul.
Yeah, like, Diamond Dallas Page is a miracle worker. That's a professional wrestler. He has no, like, as far as I'm aware, actual, like, fighting experience. Every wrestler I've ever heard, or every fighter I've ever do his program, their health is considerably better because of it. And obviously this isn't a sponsorship segment. We obviously don't have enough subs for that.
Oh my god.
But, like,
I think they're well aware.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know, if you think that it could help you out, and you're watching this a decade down the line...
Yeah.
If you've ever seen some of the interviews with Butterbean, they're so funny, too, because he's like, I only started boxing for your money. I love fighting. You're telling me I could do it without going to jail, and they'll pay me to do it?
Wasn't it
Fuck
like
yeah.
it'd been cool to see him fight Mike Tyson back in the day.
ONG.
Yeah, back when they were both in fighting shape. I think seeing them fight now would just make me a little sad.
Yeah. But speaking of fighting now, apparently Mike Tyson is fighting Floyd Money Mayweather in a few
Why?
months. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. They're fucking I don't fucking know. They well, I saw Mike Tyson post something.
That fight might have been interesting a while ago, fellers.
Fucking never would have been interesting. What
What do you mean?
It never would have bbeen interesting. By the time Floyd Mayweather was getting up, Mike Tyson had already left the ring, and he kind of left like a pretty. I mean, he said in his last interview, you know, like he's done, like, you know, he's done what he could, and he can't fight anymore. You know, not to diss the guy, that's his own words, but I don't think this fight ever would have been interesting. At least not as interesting as it would be right now. You know, Floyd's doing exhibition fights. Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul. He's getting in the ring again. So, you know what? Why not do it? Just fuck it. You know? They've talked trash about each other, so I don't know. Why not?
Why not do it? Because they're both old men now.
At least it's two old men fighting each other and not like a 30-year age gap between them.
You know what? That's a fair enough point.
like
We're getting
that's
a Rocky 3. Is it 3, 4 grudge match? Which movie is it?
Was it? What do you want? Are you
Rocky
talking about?
85.
Are you talking about the one where like Rocky as an old man has to fight like
Yeah.
a young? Yeah, that's Rocky Balboa. That's like the 6th movie in the fucking series. Floyd's probably.
Do you have
gonna
any
win.
other boxing goats you want to talk about, Josh?
KSI fucking sucks, bro. He
Okay,
does,
okay,
He does.
I've got
He
an
does. He does jumping jacks in the ring and pretends to be a good fighter.
Yeah, true.
He makes good music though. I mean, you seen that? Hear that one tune by him last year?
You mean that one where he's like into the thick of it? Yeah, the one that's like that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fucking song. I like that song.
You got any other fighters who you think story's interesting? Can it be good to tell the viewers?
Not that I know of. What about you, Austin? Do you know any fighter stories that could be interesting?
Tell us about Bruce Lee, Austin.
What about him?
Tell us about him.
Him and Chuck Norris went at it.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, who won?
I can't remember. I didn't finish it.
Oh,
Chuck
okay.
Norris. He was
like
larger.
a movie thing.
Oh, a movie? Okay, I don't know that.
Yeah.
You guys ever hear that
anyways.
story about Demetrius Johnson, where because he grew up without a father, his dad finally called him. He had finally like gotten to meet his dad, and his dad was like, "Yeah, this is my name. This is what I do for a living. It's nice to finally meet you, son." And then Demetrius Johnson was like, "All right, you got my name and stuff, right? You can just Google me," and hung up.
That's gonna be us one day when the fucking podcast takes off.
Please,
Like,
please, I'm begging you.
Rate
Can't
the-
keep going to work, man. I need the easy breezy life of a YouTuber.
Yeah, at this rate, we're not making.
Yeah, we're never gonna make it, bro.
Yeah, rest in peace, guys. Rest in peace to that dream.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I should just... Oh, if I do that, we're probably gonna get flagged for self-harm. Even though this
Yeah, I
is
was about to-
not real. This is...
Even
That's a
What the
foam
fuck
bullet.
is the? Wait, Jason, were you able to find the belt?
No. I forgot
Fuck!
to look for it, to be honest.
Damn.
But I don't think I have it. I think it's in storage.
God,
But this is foam. I can point this at the camera and shoot, like... It's it's all foam. It's not real.
you gotta find that fucking belt, dude. That would be amazing. Yeah, we could just use this rest of the episode to just fuck around for a bit. I don't. Obviously, we could like talk about stuff, but I think we should just use this as like a little. People probably clicked off by then. Whatever we talk about, it probably wouldn't matter.
Yeah, on the unedited version, probably. Yeah.
I feel bad for
Fuck
you,
you,
Josh, because we've done so much bullshitting in between all of the like boxing stuff. I feel like
it was on me and Josh.
Yeah,
you were sitting there like, oh my god, can y'all shut the fuck up?
Who's we?
what are you talking about? I just shot the camera.
Yeah, this is gonna cut out, by the way. But Man, this
I guess
was
that makes this the end of the episode.
Yeah, we talked about basically every. Oh shit! I
Yeah,
forgot
I
to
missed the first
mention
half.
Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna bet money on one of them. I forgot who.
What's your bet? Yeah, tell us.
It's hard
and
to say.
Probably maybe edit this
I'm
before.
a-
Probably edit out all that fuck shit before this.
I'm gonna just say a random name just because I don't know shit like that. So I'm gonna just say Terrence. That was the first thing I heard. I don't know.
I'll say Canelo Alvarez is, as a non-huge fight, like boxing fan in particular, I've heard the name Canelo Alvarez a lot more, but I've heard both before in the past.
Actually, I think okay. Terrence Crawford has 40 fights and 0 losses. 40 wins, 0 losses. Canelo Alvarez has like 62 wins and 2 losses and I think 2 draws.
That is still a really impressive record.
Still good record. I might say Canelo Alvarez might be the winner. Only because, so I don't know if you know this or not, but like Israel Adesanya, I want to say after his fight where, the big fight where he won, he struck a deal with the company Prime, the Prime Hydration with Logan Paul and KSI. Yeah. And for his fights, he had this Prime chain that would hang, from his neck. And as soon as he got that is whenever he started losing every single one of his fights.
He sold his soul.
Fucking. Same with, and there's like a bunch of other fighters that's happened to where like they signed up with Prime and they fucking started losing.
Do you think it's because Prime is just like, okay, now that you work for us, you are only good to make us money, so you will begin to take dives.
Yeah, and then finally, Terrence Crawford was one of those guys, and he has the Prime chain curse on him, so he might be fucked. And that's why I am betting all my money on Canelo Alvarez. This video will age like fucking shit. Potentially in a couple months. Yeah.
Oh, I said something about taking a dive. I think this is something that's really interesting. You know how Muay Thai fighters are commonly known as like some of the toughest people in the world?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like they're always like bashing their shins with shit. They're always testing their endurance and their durability, and people are always really impressed by how tough they are. You know, it's really common in Muay Thai to take a dive because Muay Thai fighters fight. Like, remember how I said Rodtang has 300 plus wins? Well, that's not like super uncommon to have hundreds of fights. A lot of the time, Muay Thai fighters will do a fight every night or 2 fights a night and have Sunday off or something. So, because they have a fight tomorrow, they're trying to not have their ribs shattered tonight. So when they realize they're going to lose, before they get to the point where they're hurt, they will oftentimes take a dive early in the fight, which I found really interesting to learn. Like, when you're watching 2 people play chess, and one of the higher level chess players resigns early on because they know that they have entered a disadvantageous position.
What the fuck was that in the background?
Yeah, no, that was just Austin. He's down the hall.
Oh yeah, we all live in the same house, by the way. We didn't feel like recording in person, so we just recorded.
Yeah, we didn't feel like recording in person, so we made the most convoluted fucking recording setup and strung it out.
Yeah.
Just like y'all would have had to do if it was in person.
Yeah, that's fucking true. Yeah, we had to have.
Actually, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so any final thoughts, guys? Anything else y'all want to mention or bring up or anything?
No, I think this has been a pretty good episode. I think this is a good place to end it here. As long as we cut out, a bunch of that filler garbage.
Yeah. So anyways, I was going to, use this little time to, have us talk to the audience who's probably not watching, but give them a little bit of, an update on things related to the channel. So, a few weeks ago, we had, our first episode, number 1, our one and only episode that we've only done, and there's never been anything else before that.
That you're allowed to know of.
Because that's all fucking scrapped. And we are planning on doing one video every 2 weeks. And
What's so funny, Josh? What happened?
But so we're gonna have one video every 2 weeks. Now that could either be a podcast episode or like what happened last week because we weren't able to fucking record, or 2 weeks ago, whenever the hell this fucking episode comes out. We released the Pat Puck versus Shadow Ablaze video, which I don't know if you fucking legacy viewers out there know of. We released that a couple years back. And we repurposed
But it was bad.
Yeah, we repurposed it to fit the brand new aesthetic of the show or the podcast or whatever. And we might do that with other episodes. You might see some, snippets of previous past episodes, or maybe sometimes, if you guys are down for it, maybe we can record other skits along that, so that we can have a podcast episode as well as maybe, a skit video that we can put out in case if we're not able to record an episode that week.
I also think that if we can get this thing rolling and start getting monetization after a while, that it would be easier to get content out more frequently and side content.
And if you guys want to, if let's say like last week, me and Austin, we're not able to record, or you and Austin aren't able to record, or if I'm in, whatever. If you guys want to do a solo episode talking about whatever, I mean, you guys can. Or if it's like earlier today where, Austin said that he wasn't be able to record, where, two of you guys, either me and Jason, you with Jason, or me and Austin or whatever, we can record.
However it gets divided up.
Like, we could record a 2-way. But either way, like, okay. But... I want us to be able to, have that time, like, for the podcast, so that we can try to keep up our 2-week schedule,
Yeah.
Or, as close to it as possible. And, you could see us online, or, over Discord or whatever. Sometimes you might see us, in person, whatever. But yeah, that's all I wanted to mention when it came to like the formatting of the podcast and stuff, or the YouTube channel, really. But yeah, so anything else? Anything you guys want to mention last before?
Any final thought?
Yeah, any final thoughts before we end today's episode?
The future of Sugar Shack is bright.
Yes.
I hope.
I think so too. I feel like if we keep at it and up, I mean, we're already at a really good schedule. I mean, 2 episodes in a month.
Schedule. This is a more frequent schedule than some big.
By the way, also wanted to mention, anniversary is coming up by the end of this month. You guys are going to see something then, whether it be a podcast episode or something else. I don't fucking know.
It'll be something special.
Yep. And
I've been holding it as shit for the past 15 minutes, so I think this is a good time to end it.
Yep.
From our family to yours, I'm Jason, that's Josh, and that's Austin. We're out of here.
Cut that shit out.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Welcome. Thanks for watching the last ever episode of Sugar Shack. Bye-bye! Fuck you, Jason. I'm stealing your outro.